A frightened dog refuses to approach 10 different people, then quietly walks toward one person and rests at their feet. A nervous horse that has been alert for hours suddenly lowers its head beside someone it has never met. A shy cat that usually hides under furniture slowly steps into the open without being called. Most people look at these moments and believe they are simply lucky or mysterious. Others assume the person must know a special trick with animals. But science tells a far more fascinating story. Animals are constantly collecting information that most humans never realize they are giving away. Long before an animal reacts to your smile, your hand, or your voice, it is already studying signals that exist beneath ordinary body language. These hidden signals cannot be easily controlled because they come from the way your body and mind work together. They reveal whether you are calm or anxious, patient or impatient, predictable or unpredictable. For animals, reading these signals is not a talent. It is a survival skill that has been refined over millions of years. Every day in the wild, making the wrong decision about another living creature could mean injury or death. Because of this, many animals have developed an incredible ability to detect tiny biological changes that humans usually overlook. What feels invisible to us can be obvious to them. This is where the story becomes even more interesting. Some people naturally create an environment that animals seem to trust almost immediately. They do not force interaction. They do not demand attention. They simply make animals feel safe without realizing why. Many of these people are often described as empaths, not because they possess supernatural powers, but because they tend to regulate their emotions, remain patient, and communicate in ways that reduce fear instead of increasing it. The result is a connection that looks magical from the outside, but is often built on biological signals that science is only beginning to understand more deeply. Throughout this video, we are going to uncover those hidden signals one by one. Some of them involve your breathing, while others begin with your nervous system, before you even move a single muscle. We will explore why your scent quietly changes with stress, how tiny differences in muscle tension can influence an animal's first impression, why the rhythm of your voice carries more meaning than the words you speak, and how emotional regulation may affect every interaction you have with animals. You will also discover why patience can communicate more clearly than affection, why consistency builds trust faster than excitement, and why the calmest people often receive the strongest response from even the most cautious animals. These are details that rarely receive attention because they happen silently. They cannot be captured in a single photograph or explained with a simple trick, yet they influence thousands of interactions between humans and animals every single day. Along the way, we will separate well-supported scientific ideas from popular myths. Many stories claim that animals can read minds or sense mystical energy. The truth is already remarkable without adding extraordinary claims. Animals possess senses that are far more advanced than ours in many areas. Their ability to notice changes in smell, breathing, sound, movement, and emotional consistency allows them to make decisions with incredible speed. Understanding these abilities not only helps explain why certain people connect so easily with animals, but also teaches us something important about ourselves. The same habits that help an animal feel safe often improve our relationships with other people as well. Calmness, emotional balance, patience, respect for boundaries, and predictable behavior create trust across many forms of life. That makes this topic much bigger than animals alone. It becomes a lesson about communication that happens without words. As we move through each part of this journey, you may begin noticing these hidden patterns in your own daily life. You might recognize why one animal seemed comfortable with you, while another remained cautious. You may even realize that trust was forming or disappearing long before anyone noticed it on the surface. The final part of this video brings all these ideas together in a way that completely changes how most people think about connection, empathy, and trust. It explains the overlooked principle that quietly links every hidden biosignal we will discuss. And once you understand it, many experiences that once felt confusing suddenly make perfect sense. So stay with us until the very end, because each section builds on the last, and missing one piece makes it harder to see the complete picture. By the time this video is over, you will understand why animals often respond to people long before a single touch is exchanged, why genuine trust cannot be forced, and why the strongest connections are often created by signals that no one can see. Welcome to our channel, where we explore the fascinating psychology, biology, and hidden behaviors that shape the world around us. If you enjoy discovering the science behind extraordinary experiences and want more thoughtful content like this, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so you never miss a new video, and now let's begin by uncovering the first hidden biosignal animals. Notice, before they ever pay attention to your body language. The first thing many animals evaluate is not your face. It is not your smile. It is not even your hand reaching toward them. Long before those details become important, many mammals are quietly asking a much simpler question. Are you safe? This question has shaped their survival for millions of years. A wild animal that misjudges danger may never get a second chance. Even animals that have lived alongside humans for generations still carry many of these ancient instincts. That is why their attention naturally goes towards signals that are difficult to fake. One of the biggest signals comes from your nervous system. Every emotion you experience creates small physical changes throughout your body. When you are anxious, your muscles often tighten without you noticing. Your shoulders become stiff, your jaw becomes firm, your movements lose their natural rhythm. Your breathing becomes quicker or shallower. Your posture changes ever so slightly. To another person, these differences may go unnoticed. But many animals are experts at detecting tiny changes because their lives have always depended on recognizing tension before danger becomes obvious. This ability is not magical. It is the result of countless generations learning to survive by reading subtle patterns that humans often ignore. Many people believe they appear calm because they are smiling, yet the nervous system cannot always hide behind a friendly expression. A person may speak gently while every muscle in their body communicates uncertainty. An animal is far less interested in the smile than in the overall picture. Dogs, horses, cats, and many other mammals constantly observe how your entire body behaves as one connected system. They notice whether your movements are smooth or sudden. They notice whether your posture remains relaxed or becomes rigid. Even the speed at which you shift your weight from one foot to another can provide information. This is why someone can approach an animal with kind intentions, yet still make it uncomfortable. Their conscious mind is saying one thing, while their nervous system is quietly saying another. Animals tend to trust the signal that is harder to control. Highly empathetic people often show a different pattern without realizing it. Many empaths naturally pause before interacting. They observe instead of rushing. They become emotionally present instead of mentally distracted. This often allows their nervous system to settle. As their body relaxes, their movements become slower, smoother, and more predictable. Their hands move with less tension. Their posture becomes softer. Their eyes remain attentive without appearing threatening. None of these behaviors require special training. They simply emerge from a calm emotional state. Animals frequently respond to this overall pattern because it resembles safety rather than pressure. They are not rewarding someone for calling themselves an empath. They are responding to biological information that feels consistent and non-threatening. Scientists who study animal behavior have repeatedly observed that stress can spread between individuals. This process is sometimes called emotional contagion. While researchers continue exploring exactly how it works across different species, many social mammals appear capable of detecting and responding to the emotional state of those around them. A nervous horse can make an entire herd more alert. A frightened dog can cause other dogs to become cautious. Humans are not separate from this process. Our emotional state often influences the behavior of nearby animals, even when we say nothing at all. This does not mean every animal reacts in exactly the same way. Personality, past experiences, breed, training, and environment all matter. But emotional regulation consistently increases the likelihood that an interaction begins peacefully. One reason this matters is because the nervous system controls much more than movement. It influences tiny adjustments throughout the body every second. Your muscles either prepare for action or remain loose. Your breathing speeds up or slows down. Your balance shifts. Even the amount of unnecessary movement changes. Someone experiencing hidden anxiety may constantly adjust their clothing, tap their fingers, or shift their feet. These behaviors seem insignificant to us because humans usually focus on words and facial expressions. Animals often notice the entire pattern instead. They observe whether your body behaves like a calm, living creature or one preparing for conflict. Their decision to approach or remain distant may begin long before you realize they are watching. This explains why forcing friendliness often produces the opposite result. Some people repeatedly call an animal's name, stretch out their hand, lean closer, or continue trying to make contact even after the animal hesitates. Their actions may come from genuine affection, but the constant pressure communicates urgency rather than safety. A regulated nervous system rarely feels the need to chase trust. It understands that trust develops naturally when both sides feel comfortable. Animals seem to appreciate this difference. They often become curious when no one is demanding their attention. Instead of feeling cornered, they feel free to observe, decide, and approach on their own terms. That freedom reduces stress, making genuine connection much more likely. Another fascinating detail is that calmness is rarely about remaining perfectly still. Animals understand movement. They move constantly themselves. What they appear to value is movement that makes sense. Smooth movements, predictable movements, movements that match the emotional situation. Someone who suddenly reaches toward a frightened animal creates uncertainty because the action arrives too quickly for the animal's nervous system to process comfortably. By contrast, someone whose movements remains slow and consistent allows the animal's brain to predict what will happen next. Predictability reduces fear because surprises often carry danger in the natural world. This ability to detect regulation also explains why some people seem to connect with rescue animals that remain cautious around others. Animals recovering from neglect or trauma often become even more sensitive to nervous system signals. Their past experiences have taught them to search carefully for inconsistency. They may ignore friendly words and instead focus on whether the person's body remains calm under pressure. Trust grows slowly because their survival instincts have become stronger. When they finally choose to approach someone, it is often because repeated observations have convinced them that this individual behaves in a stable and predictable way. That trust is earned through consistency, not performance. The remarkable part is that most of this communication happens without conscious awareness. Neither the person nor the animal is actively analyzing every tiny detail. The exchange unfolds automatically through millions of years of evolutionary adaptation. While humans often believe communication begins when words are spoken, animals remind us that communication begins much earlier. It begins with the state of the nervous system itself. Before your face expresses kindness, before your voice says a single word, before your hand reaches forward, your body has already introduced you. But the nervous system creates another hidden signal that humans rarely stop to consider, one that silently surrounds us every moment and carries information even when we remain completely still. It is the chemistry our bodies release into the air without us ever realizing it. Every interaction with an animal tells a story, even when no words are spoken. Throughout this video, we've discovered that animals are constantly gathering information that most humans never notice. They are not judging us only by our facial expressions or the way we move. They are observing much deeper signals: our breathing, our muscle tension, our scent, the rhythm of our voice, the consistency of our behavior. Most importantly, they are responding to the emotional state carried by our nervous system. None of this requires magic or the ability to read minds. It is the result of millions of years of evolution, where survival depended on recognizing safety before danger appeared. Biology, behavior, emotional regulation, patience, and consistency work together to create a silent language that animals understand remarkably well. Perhaps the greatest lesson animals teach us is that trust is never built through force. It cannot be demanded, rushed, or controlled. It grows quietly through repeated moments of safety. Every calm breath, every patient pause, every predictable action becomes part of a conversation that happens beneath the surface. That is why some people seem to earn an animal's trust so naturally. They are not trying to impress the animal. They are creating an environment where fear has less reason to exist. In many ways, animals remind us that genuine connection is not about saying the perfect words. It is about becoming the kind of presence that others feel safe around. This lesson reaches far beyond our relationship with animals. The same qualities that help a frightened dog relax, encourage a shy cat to come closer, or help a nervous horse feel secure are the same qualities that strengthen trust between people. Patience instead of pressure, calm instead of chaos, consistency instead of unpredictability. The silent messages we send every day often speak louder than anything we could ever say. So, the next time an animal chooses to sit beside someone, follows them without hesitation, or quietly places its trust in them, remember that the decision may have started long before anyone noticed it. Sometimes the strongest connection between two living beings begins before the first word, and even before the first sound. It begins with the invisible signals that reveal who we truly are. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, take a moment to support the channel by giving this video a like. It really helps more people discover content like this. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our upcoming videos, exploring the fascinating psychology, biology, and hidden behaviors that shape our world. And before you go, share your experience in the comments. Has an animal ever trusted you in a way that completely surprised you? We'd love to read your story, and your experience might inspire someone else in our community. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.